Today we are wrapping some gifts, including sourdough. We're also making staff gifts and we are making some tortillas for dinner tonight. These are sourdough tortillas, which are incredible. Devon is heading down to the farm. He's just feeding the pigs on the way. He's just throwing them out some corn that we got from our neighbours. And then from the farm, he's just picking me some herbs. He's got me some rosemary, some thyme, and some cherry tomatoes. So with the rosemary, I'm just sort of bundling it together and I'm just going to tie it together with some twine. And I'm just going to hang it here on my rack. It's nice just to hang it to dry and then I can just cut bits off as I need. This time of year is my favorite time of year. I just love Christmas, just trying to enjoy family and take a little bit of time out. And now that we've got the little boy, I think Christmas is going to be even more special. So with the thyme, I'm just putting it in just a little thing of water. I find if you put fresh herbs in water and just out on the counter, it lasts a long time. It's really, really great. And I'm just going to cut up the tomatoes now for dinner. Just doing a little bit of prep through the day to get ready for our taco dinner. I use that word taco. Tuesday night's taco night. I use that word very loosely because we might have tortillas, we might do the traditional like corn tacos, we just mix it up. And just whatever we've got going on the farm, we just sort of put that down the middle of the table, and just whatever we've got in the fridge we put down as well. It's always a really, really good night. So here I'm just baking some sourdough bread. I'm just finishing baking that. My favorite way to wrap sourdough as a gift is on a square of baking paper, and then you just fold the corners in and tie it with some twine, because you want it to look like it's wrapped, but you don't want to cover up some of the gorgeous crust, like that gorgeous pattern on top. So I think this is the best way. And it's also good if there's a little bit of heat still in the loaf from coming out of the oven. It doesn't sweat. And I always like to add a little bit of greenery, so I'm just cutting a little bit of that rosemary that we got this morning. Okay, so I'm still in the Christmas mood. Now we are going to make some staff gifts. So just making some little presents now. I wanted to give everyone a gift voucher, but I wanted to make it a little bit more special. So I just got these little boxes and I'm just tying some ribbon around them. And then inside I'm going to fill it with the gift vouchers, and then like maybe some chocolates, and just make it a little bit more special. So my original plan was to tie the ribbon on top and add like a custom bauble with the staff member's name. But then the baubles arrived in the mail and they were gigantic. They were like dinner plates. I did not expect them to be that big. So I'm just going to put them inside the box because they might be a little large to stick on the top. We are so lucky with our staff. We have just such an incredible team. They are amazing. Everyone I did a little bit different. I added some paper, some ribbons, some like twigs from outside, just all random things. And then we did like a handmade card on top with just like a personal note. And then I also have someone that was interested in sourdough, so I'm just giving them a little bit of my sourdough starter, just as a little bit of a gift. But I was thinking the more people I can give my starter to, the better, because then it will forever live on. If mine ever dies, I can just go to these people and get some of theirs. So this is my sourdough starter container. I was working so hard to keep it clean and then it overflowed in the fridge. I don't know how anyone keeps their sourdough starter jar clean. It is just impossible. So now I am making some sourdough tortillas. This recipe is the best recipe. This recipe is amazing. It makes the most gorgeous dough. It is really, really fun to work with. So you cut the butter into the flour and then you add the sourdough starter. I will leave this recipe linked down below.
As much as that.
So Devon here is actually working on a puzzle. So if you watch my video before, I talk about like a few of our little traditions that we have at Christmas time, and one of those is doing a puzzle. I think it's just a really nice reminder to slow down in December, sit, make a cup of tea and just enjoy working on a puzzle, even if it's just a few seconds, a few minutes. Just it's a little reminder to try to slow down. December can be really, really crazy. So the puzzle that we're working on this year is a map of Australia. This puzzle is the best. I really, really enjoy it because you can see a piece and be like, oh, where's this place? You know, it's just a really, really fun puzzle. So we're nearly finished Australia. We just have a few more pieces to go. So I'm just making Devon a cup of tea. Devon works so hard. It's really nice to see him sit and relax. And we just finished Australia. That's what we're celebrating. Okay, so here is my dough. I was kneading it before and now I'm just dividing it up. So depending on what size, if you want to do like the larger tortillas or the larger wraps, you would just do less little balls. But I think I want the small ones for dinner tonight, just little mini ones. So I divided this up, I think into 12. But again, just divide them into whatever size you want.
What fun it is to ride in a one-horse sleigh. Oh.
Devon taught me how to do this. You make like a C shape with your hand and then you just like roll it over the dough and it makes this little ball. I'm trying to teach Huxley how to do it. So then you let them sit for 30 minutes to 2 hours, and you can let them sit longer in the fridge as well. But after they've sat out for a bit, I'm just going to roll them out and I'm going to cook them. But again, this dough is beautiful. It doesn't stick. It is just really, really nice to work with. So when you roll them out, you want to get them as thin as you can. So roll them really, really thin. And my cooking style is like rustic and carefree, so each one was a completely different size and shape, and that's just how I roll. And you don't need to oil the pan or anything, just a dry pan's all you need. And then you just flip them after a few seconds. They really don't take that long. But these tortillas are just beautiful. They're really flexible. The dough is just beautiful to work with. It is just a really, really good recipe. And Also with our tacos tonight, we have some chicken tenders in the fridge and we're just going to do a sourdough crumb on them. So any old bread that we had left over, we just had a little bit left over from the previous loaf. I'm just baking it in the oven and then I'm just gonna whiz it up and blend it up just to make a bread crumb. And now Devon is just finishing off the chicken. So he does this at the restaurant. He often crumbs things. So what does he do? He dips it in the flour first, then in the egg mixture, which is just, eggs beaten up, and then into the sourdough, into the crumb. These turned out so good. They were delicious. And then he just shallow fried them in a little bit of oil. And then we just toss everything on the table. Our farm grown tomatoes, some sauerkraut. We also had a bit of spinach, and I always like to serve it with a bit of Greek yogurt as well. Just delicious.